Hi, welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red All Over. We are a spoiler-free comic review show that we put out weekly. If you like comic reviews, you like them spoiler-free, please give us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the rest of the episode. Two small things to you, but hugely important to us. All right, so this is a weird week because we got Vic is in Comic-Con and Jeremy is, as far as Rycorp Legal describes it, was a participant in a live-action role-playing game based on Miami Vice and is yet to make bail. So I apologize. 2/3 of the team is missing, so you're stuck with 20% that sucks. But I've still got reviews. All right, so instead of it doing any of the big books this week, like Axe Judgment came out, amazing, it was really, really good. DC had the next of their vampire books, All Out War, also really good. I'm going to be spotlighting smaller press stuff. We're talking Scout Comics, Source Point, Aftershock, and Image, if you can consider them a small press anymore. All right, so here are my 3 should-read books. First one, Do a Powerbomb, number 2. The only reason this is in my should-read is that it's number 2. And when I get to how much I love the other 3 in the good reads that are the best reads of the week, it'll make sense. So this one, if you haven't read the first issue, you're missing out. Really, really good. Daniel Warren Johnson, Mike Spicer, they've teamed up, and it is the story of a young woman whose mother was a professional wrestler, and she died in the ring, and her daughter wants to be a professional wrestler too, and she's being given a not so nice option in terms of, like, she can bring her mother back from the dead, and it is really cool. She has to do it as a tag team, so she's looking for someone to tag team with, and there is a page turn reveal at the end that kicks you in the face. The first 2 issues make you fall in love with these characters and feel emotions for them that you shouldn't. Like, it shouldn't happen this fast, but this creative team does it. It's an amazing job. If you're a fan of wrestling, if you're a fan of families, if you're a fan of, like, over-the-top drama, really, really good. Next up, from IDW Originals, we've got Dark Spaces Wildfire, number 1. Scott Snyder's book, Hayden Sherman. Oh my gosh. Crap, Hayden's on this list twice. I didn't realize that. His art style just keeps evolving and is getting better and better and better with every work he does. Amazing talent. Keep on the lookout for him. All right, so this one, written by Scott Snyder, art by Hayden Sherman. And it is the story of a group of women that are inmates in prison, and they're able to work off parts of their sentence by fighting fires for almost no money at all. Like, it's just they're risking their lives, hoping to get out of jail early. That's not the fictional part, because that's just how our prison system works, and it kind of sucks. But I digress. So this one of the prisoners took the fall for, like, a Ponzi scheme, like, a white collar sort of like rich person's thing. And there's an opportunity in a very kaiju score kind of way where there might be a robbery, there might be a caper taking place during a massive forest fire. Really cool, noir-y, criminally, Ocean's 11-y. Really dug it. I really think this is one that IDW should have offered returnability on for stores so that we could really go big on it, but they didn't. So, but it's out there, it's good, check it out. Alrighty, from Source Point, we've got Little Red Ronin, number 1. And this is really cool. All right, it is listed as for mature readers, and there's some violentitude going on in it. All right, so we got written by Garrett Gunn, art, color, and logo by Kit Wallace, lettering and design by Dave Lentz, created by Kit Wallace and Garrett Gunn, edited by Christina Blanc. Every part of this hits perfectly. It is a little girl in what I think is kind of like a Japanese type setting, and her grandmother, everybody thinks is crazy. She's been kicked out of the city. She lives in the woods, and supposedly there is this big bad wolf monster that lives in the woods, but nobody's seen it for 10 years except this little girl is convinced that she has. And now it's her goal to not only save her grandmother, but track the wolf down and kill it. Amazing stuff. It's little kids. It's got like the skeleton of Little Red Riding Hood, but with a little bit of like Akira Kurosawa kind of action going on. Very awesome. And the violence level is, it's definitely not for kids, especially when there's flashbacks to the wolf and what the wolf does. An amazing book. Really, really cool. All right. Those books were awesome. But these are the 3 books that I think are the best this week. And I'm going to start out with, well, I've already mentioned Hayden's name. So we'll go Blink number 1. Hayden doing the art and Chris Sabala doing the writing. Okay. So this is a person who is living a terrible life. I mean, they're living a good life. They're a writer that's supported by family and friends, able to do the stuff that they enjoy, but they have a dark past. Something happened when they were a kid that they cannot remember. And they keep these little flashes here and there, and they do urban crime stories. And they run into their past. They get a glimpse of a website that should not exist. And that sets the ball in motion. I'm trying to think of the elevator pitch for it. Because it's this person's, their life before as a child was so bad, they don't know why. And when they start to figure out, it's God, what I'm trying to think, it's like Red Room kind of vibe to it from the comic Red Room. Yeah, man, it's dark. It's like, I hate to say 8mm with Nicolas Cage, but it's like something like it's a noir. Memento meets that. Really, really cool. Highly, highly recommend. Now it's Oni Press, so heart goes out to everybody at Oni from what's going on the last week or so. All right, we will do Scout Comics, She Bites, number 1. It was such a fast read. I hated the fact it was such a fast read because I loved it so much. Written by Hedwig Hale, art by Alberto Hernandez R. It is, oh my gosh, it takes place in Pittsburgh. Think of it like Let the Right One In meets, oh man, what's the meat? I had it in my head earlier, but I've had 11 concussions. It is the story of this little girl who is a vampire, and she is looking for in air quotes, babysitter that will her cover to be able to do the things that she wants to do. She's a 134-year-old vampire that looks like a child. So she can't buy cigarettes. She can't buy alcohol. And like the babysitter is purely for it. It's hysterical. It's heartwarming because the nanny, the wannabe babysitter, doesn't realize what she's walking into until she walks into that bathroom. And if I walked into that bathroom, not all of me would leave. Like, it's a horrible scene, but it's hysterical the way it's all set up. Yeah, vampire comedy, man, it's really awesome. So if you're looking for something that's got a little bit of comedy to it, but also very, very dark, this is the one. It's really good, but not as good as my personal favorite this week, Aftershock Comics. The brother of all men. So, Zach Thompson, let me read off the illustrious creative team. Written by Zach Thompson, art by Marin, colorist is Englehart, and, oh man. All right, so if you don't follow cults and conspiracy theories like I do, which you probably don't, you might not know about the cult that was up in Canada at the turn. Oh my gosh. All right, this dude, you'll get to it when you read the book, because you're going to read it. All right, so this guy who's back from the war, missing half of his face, wounded, barely there, but he's returned back and his family's kind of in disarray. So he's trying to find someone from his past. And the last place they were seen was up in this area where there's a cult that has been operating. Everybody doesn't want to talk about it. People pretend they don't know it. And he's just trying to find someone he cares about. And we start to see glimpses of how damaged this character is. He went to war and came back shot in the head. Like you don't fully emotionally recover from something like that. And it is this interaction with this cult where he finds a way to sneak in, and he's about to join it, and seeing, because they're at the stage of you're joining a cult where everything looks cool. Like you don't realize things are really, really, really messed up yet. They're very inviting, no abuse yet. The way that they draw the cult leader's face is so king and yellowy, so like Carcosan in nature, and the fact that I'm pretty sure it's based on a real historical thing that happened. So yeah, oh man, it was good. So that's another one. It's Zach Thompson doing folk horror. Think Wicker Man, not that Wicker Man, the other Wicker Man. The Witch. It's just freaking good. Just 100%. All these books you should read this week. They're all amazing. All right. Thank you for suffering through that 10.5 minutes of me. Next week we will have Vic and Jer back. So like I said earlier, if you enjoyed what you saw, hit like. If you liked what you saw and you hit like, also hit subscribe and the bell. We do this every week, usually way better. Check out below in the body, we'll have a link to Vic's Kickstarter for Kindergartens. And also we recommend you shop local, but if you ever run into a situation where you can't find something at your home store, check out our eBay below and I'll have a list of stuff available on our eBay store and we do ship. All right, so thanks.